Good morning. We're waiting for rain today. We hope that it rains over Christmas, but we still haven't had rain for a very long time, and it's dry. Everyone's going through a really dry period. We're 2/3 below our annual average, just coming into Christmas now, on top of at least 2 years of below average rainfall. But I'm here to share some good news. We've been able to grow these zucchinis using this agroforestry, Syntropic agroforestry. This bed of zucchinis grow in combination with a bed of grass that's over there on this side of that tree row. Down in there is the grass, bed of zucchini, grass, and the tree row. We combined those 4 beds into a single unit of production. Each bed has its own balance sheet, its own ledger. Each tree row has its own balance sheet and ledger. The 4 of them combine to become one unit, with those, each bed being a subunit within those units, and then that's how we do our accounting. Now this zucchini, just for this calculation, I haven't included the tree row for this calculation. We can, because there's no yield, we haven't pruned it. We're going to put cucumbers in it, but we've isolated just the zucchini for the sake of this piece of discovery, and it has revealed is that the zucchini has produced as much as monoculture if we were farming all of the grass and the zucchini. And it has a gross margin of $10,000 per hectare at $1 per kilo. Now, we're getting a lot of plants and a lot of density because the zucchini can be planted heavily here, but they can also spread out onto the grass. Easy to pick. There's a lot of positive feedbacks, but the biggest positive feedback, one of the most noticeable, is the fact that the soil's covered. Very, very heavy mulch cover, and that mulch was provided by these grass rows. So this is why we can come out with such a good gross profit, because there's very, very little money spent. I think there was $50 money spent in setting this bed up. There was labour. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what that was, but it's all written down. But once it's planted, it's pretty much just management, which is just picking here. Now, there hasn't been a lot of water, and this is the 3rd year that we've grown zucchini where we haven't had one wilting leaf on our plants. There's just the hottest of hot days, very low amounts of water, and we haven't had one single wilting leaf for the 3rd year. Now let's have a look at the soil. I've just picked a random spot. We've got to take off the biomass and have a look. Now, that there is full of life. It's full of fungal filaments, but it is dry as a bone. It is as dry as dry. They're getting watered, but nowhere near the amount of water that's required for standard monoculture stuff. Now, my point is, I think that obviously there's something going on. We've got healthier plants than standard monoculture, than standard organic or conventional. The productive life cycle of the plant is a lot longer. the grade of the fruit is higher. Now what's happening is the grasses, I think the tree row's got a lot to do with this. Of course, I will just say that Zucchinia medium strata, they don't utilise all of the sunshine. They utilise roughly 60% of it. So whatever falls beyond that, whatever sun comes down in excess of that, is wasted. So of course these trees have a lot to do with that. The stratification is important, but it's not the key. It's just part of it. But for some reason everything's working together. You know, our citrus are great. You know, this is the first year for these blood oranges. But they're all working together, and we're getting these results that are better than any zucchini crop I've ever seen. I've been around a lot of vegetables and market gardens in my life. Another thing I want to add now is a management tip that we've found that might help, which is normally to get constant grade, you know, your A grade, you want to pick twice a day. Just as a note, we're picking A grade and A plus, and we've got less than 1% second grade, far less. So again, and we're producing for longer. We're holding crop for much longer. We keep thinking we've got to cut these plants out now, and they are getting old, but they're still producing heaps. So what we found is if we can pick once a day and pick 2 grades, we pick A grade and A plus. If you pick once a day and you're not chasing A plus, and you'll end up picking a lot of second grade. So that's what we found. We can save labour and time, and with a little bit of extra marketing, we can get our sales on A plus, which is, you know, takes a little bit more work, but it gives back a fair bit. You know, some chefs like those zucchini. So let's have a look at the fruit. They are getting a little bit old now. They're just, the quality's not there that it used to be. It used to be perfect, but now it's not quite perfect. So here's A plus. It's very small, very uniform, and chefs like it, and it's very high quality fruit, very, very good texture. Here's A grade. This is the standard stuff, which you're not seeing in the supermarkets at the moment. I don't know what's going on. I think it might be the broader implications of the drought, but we're seeing very little A grade fruit around the shops. But this is A grade, and here's second grade. It's just a little bit bigger, and we're seeing a lot of that in the shops, and even poorer quality fruit. So this it's a very profitable way of growing vegetables. Zucchini are a good example of this. There's second grade next to A grade, and that's it with A plus. So there's a tip for making a bit more money out of your zucchinis. Pick once a day and go up a grade. And if you can, we can work these zucchinis into these consortiums that include the trees and grasses and everything, but these grasses are very, very, very important, because they form a macroorganism and exchange nutrients. They provide their own biomass, everything. You know, you hardly spend it, you're not taking much money off the farm. And you get just results that I haven't seen. I think they're about, you know, they're nearly twice as good as ordinary zucchinis, particularly in the rate of the fruit output, quality, and the length of the harvest.